Hello, everyone. It's Julie Lomas, and welcome to my channel, Conscious Connections, a channel all about positive living and living your best life. And of course, every year we do an astrology reading for the year with the amazing Sue Lilly. And always by request, people ask, when are we going to hear Sue's astrology reading? Well, here we are. So, welcome, Sue. As always, we're really looking forward to this.
Thank you,
Um,
Julie.
how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. As you can see, I've shifted my background to my view out of
Yes.
my office window. I thought you'd rather see that than the shredder and the goodness knows what else that's in the background. So
You
lovely
look,
to see.
it looks lovely and lovely to see you. You look really well.
Thank you. And
Cool.
it's lovely to see everybody, and also to see everybody. Um, I have to say this. Doing this last year for
Yes.
2025 was probably one of the most difficult things I've had to do,
Mm,
in as much as I and a lot of other astrologers could see the energies and where they were going
mm.
and didn't want to scare people and also didn't want to curse the situation, you know,
Yes, yes.
but it was very difficult because you could you could say thinking to everybody, oh, you're going to have to hang on with this one. This one's a good one. And as it's turned out, of course,
Uh,
everybody.
we were all holding on, thinking, "Oh my goodness."
God. And all I can say is, well, as we go into 2026, you've got to hold on a little bit longer, but a lot of you who are already sensitive would have already been feeling the energies changing.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
they did a really big shift yesterday, which was December the 11th,
Mm.
when Neptune entered Aries for the first time in 160 odd years. And of course it's a very different energy, and it's this that was really the start. It was the switch going for what's happening for next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
The first thing I need to say is that it's quite important, because if you're doing TikTok or anything like that, the planets don't make you do anything. Okay. And it's like I always get a little bit when people say, oh, well, Mercury's gone retrograde, so that means
Mm,
communication's going to be terrible, blah, blah, blah. No, the planets are part of the same energy system as us. And it's a bit like fractals. You know, they go from big things down to little things, but it's the same energy. And all we do is we reflect.
okay.
And but the point is, we've got free will,
Mm.
believe it or not.
I was just going to
And
say that. I have to remind myself that so
yeah, that's
often.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you do have choices. You can either
yeah.
join in the roller coaster or not join in the roller coaster. Um, I mean, and the thing that probably messes us up the most is the fact that we live on a planet that is so close to the energies of the sun and the moon. You know, the solar
Mm,
day, 24 hours, things change. The
mm.
moon, of course, every 28 or so days whizzes round. And it's like they reflect into our body physical, whether we like it
Yes,
or not. And sometimes we don't
yes,
get any choice because it's such a very physical reaction.
yes,
And
which
and
makes
I
sense.
Yeah, and I think the thing is certainly looking back on last year, and it's the same every year really, but it really brought it out last year,
Mm,
is that please be aware of the moon cycle. If you haven't got one of those fancy moon calendars,
mhm.
then please get yourself one, because you will see the society in general, every new and every full moon. I was going to say somebody does something stupid, but but it's like politically,
Politically.
uh, you
Yes,
yes, you will
yes,
see it going on the moon cycle.
yeah. So it goes on the moon. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it gets to the
makes
point in
sense.
this household, it's coming up for full moon. Oh my God, what are they going to do now?
Mm, mm,
And you're
mm,
thinking, here we
mm,
go again.
mm.
And you'll see that, and this is the issue with the moon, is it links to the masses, it links to part of us emotionally. that it's like it's a planet full of lemmings, if you like. If you know the story about lemmings, is one follows, they all follow,
Yes, yes.
regardless. And so actually looking at the moon cycle, you can be pretty sure that a large proportion of society is going to join in.
Yeah, which is,
You
yeah,
know,
well, we see it.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's a good idea. So reminding everyone to follow the moon
Yeah.
cycles.
And also if you're quite sensitive and you're prone to getting a bit low now and again, you'll
Mhm.
notice that goes on the moon cycle as well.
Yes,
And for women, regardless of your menstrual cycle, it'll go on the moon cycle as well. And so sometimes when you're feeling low, and if you check out the moon, you think, ah, it's just the moon energy doing its
mm,
thing,
mm. Yeah, affects me.
and so you don't get caught up on it more than you need to.
Mhm.
It will pass. Yeah.
Good
But yeah,
advice.
yeah. But there's been a lot on, especially on TikTok, about this planet does this, it makes you do this. And no,
I know.
we have the
TikTok.
choice. All right, there
TikTok's
is.
good, but it's also the bane.
Yes, but it's like it's also as well as there are certain astrological setups that it's like you have choice, but you're stupid if you go against it. so,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
you learn
Yes.
to go with the flow,
Yes.
yeah, rather than oppose it. Now, um, can I just share a screen, Julie?
Yes. Yes, you can do
Can
anything you
can you
wish.
allow me?
Oh, okay. How do I do that? Huh. Well, so I go to more, I guess.
That's all right. I'll send a request.
Okay, allow. Thank you. I'm glad you know what you're doing.
That's all right. Okay. So first of all, I'm just going to share the astrology of the new year, just so people can get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And the drawback with having, and this doesn't matter where it is in the world, it's the same. The drawback of having a new year always beginning on January the 1st is that we set ourselves up for certain things as society goes.
We're very good at
Uh,
that. Yes.
yeah, and there are some countries like the UK, for example, who seriously set themselves up for certain things because they were born on a January the 1st, and so it's like, oh, you
Mm.
know, here we
Hmm.
go again.
Yes.
Um, but as you can see from this picture of the chart, and those of you who've not seen astrology before, is the line across the middle is the horizon line. Anything above the horizon line would be visible. So, of course, because this is midnight, of course, the moon's there above the horizon line,
Yes.
and the sun and a whole host of other planets, they're shown by the little gifts around their edge, are below the horizon.
Right.
But it does mean that every new year we have Capricorn sun, that's down here. Okay, and every year we have a Libra ascendant, that's out there. But the rest is up for grabs, basically, depending on the year. Now, one of the things about the new year 2026 is there are a lot of planets very close to the end of any sign. So you've got
Oh.
Uranus there at 28, got Neptune there at 20, 29, going in basically in and out of Aries. By Saturn's at 26, Pluto's just over the other edge at 2. So there's a lot of planets at the end of one sign or the beginning of another. And so this is basically, I'm just going to unshare now.
That's okay.
This for the moment anyway. So this is basically one of the things that heralds in next year is that the whole fabric of everything is shifting. And it's shifting at the same time. We're used to things doing it, sort of now and again.
Gradually. Yeah.
Yeah, but this time, if you like, the orchestra's starting to sing or starting to play the
Okay.
same tune. And so we're in for quite a substantial shift as we go into the first part of 2026. And this isn't like the one that was in 2025, which was political nightmare.
Mm.
This is inner stuff. It's to do with male-female balance.
Mm.
And and the moon for next year's is in Gemini, which is to do with communication. And so it gives us an idea is that this is what the year's going to be about. And unlike 2025, there's only two eclipses. I mean, 2025 was full of them,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's only two. And and it's important to realize what's happening energetically with eclipses because you've basically got the sun, and depending what sort of eclipse it is, you'll have if it's a solar eclipse, you'll have the moon and then you'll have the earth. So the moon energy cuts across the life energy from the sun. So,
Okay.
so it shows you when there's a solar eclipse,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's quite a deep emotional
Sure.
cutaway.
Yeah.
When it's a lunar eclipse, it's the other way around. It's the sun, the earth, and the moon. So this time the earth gets in the way. So it's like its reality is everyday life, you know, cuts across that line.
Right.
So it's a very different feel. But basically, the reason that I'm saying about this and the different is the fact that the first of the eclipses is in February.
Mhm.
Now, January is a month, it carries on the foundations of the chart that I've just basically seen. And it's going to be finishing off or trying to finish off the mess from 2025. So, and certainly around the 18th, you're going to get the international stuff kicking off again, if it's ever stopped. I mean, it's very,
18th of January.
yeah, 18th of January.
Okay.
And I must confess that because of the timings of the movement of some of the outer planets, astrology in America are getting a little bit uncomfortable because we're coming up for the anniversary of the American Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the first time.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so, and as you can probably see, there are hints that there are underlying energies, similar energies going on. And so January is going to be a little bit the same as this year. We're still going to
Hmm.
get the bits and pieces.
Hmm.
But then we come to February. Now, February is always the Chinese New Year. And I always mention it because Chinese astrology, Western tropical astrology, and Vedic Sidereal astrology, they're just different ways of looking at the same
At the
picture.
same thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chinese astrology, because of the change of the Chinese New Year in February, does tend to highlight something significant. And this next year, 2026, is big. And because basically what we've got is that there's a lot of planets in Aquarius when we first start the month.
Hmm.
But when we get to the solar eclipse on the new moon, the solar eclipse is also the Chinese New Year. And we're going from the earth snake to
Yeah.
the fire horse.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so, and the fire horse, I always think of it as, I mean, Sharon and will probably correct me, I always think of it as very feminine. I know it's a sign, the fire horse, of women who tend to be a little bit wayward and are not considered suitable marriage partners. But basically, that's what this world needs at the moment. It needs women who like that to
Yeah.
start standing up and saying,
Yeah.
look, you
And
men in your greed, stop.
yes. Yes.
And so, really, if you like, although things are going on behind the scenes at the moment, when we get to February, it really starts to come out.
Wow.
And it's like the other thing that happens at the same time is Saturn joins Neptune in Aries. And they have an interesting relationship, these two outer planets. Because you think of the moon cycle, we're used to having new moons, half moons, full moons, half
Mm.
moons, new moon. But these outer planets have a similar sort of thing, and it's called the synodic cycle.
Mm.
And Saturn and Neptune do it every 36 years. And they don't always do it, they do it different places in sciences. Like, for example, I was born with Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Libra. So this was, 72, 73 years ago. It was conjunct in Capricorn in the 80s. But this is the first time it's been conjunct in Aries at the beginning of Aries for quite a few hundred years.
Oh, so
So we
things
really
shift.
are at the beginning of something
New.
significantly
Mm,
new.
mm.
And and I think that people who are trying to hold on to their old patterns are going to find this energy particularly difficult because it's about letting go
Mm.
and it's about not getting caught up in trying to escape. It's about bringing all your spiritual energy down into your everyday life.
This makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
actually,
But
what's
I
going on.
like I said, I mean, for me, and I might be, but for me, it feels a very feminine energy, a spiky
Yeah.
feminine energy, sure.
Yeah, but because we have to be like that sometimes, right?
Yeah. And so there's a lot of drive, a lot of energy to create change.
Yeah, yeah. This really
And
makes sense.
yeah, and I think they'll probably find a lot of things sorting out in the weeks following the Chinese New Year, middle of February. You're going to find a lot of things starting to shake out if they haven't already.
Hmm. I was speaking to Janet Sharon a few days ago, and she said the energies are already coming in,
Yeah, that's
which
right.
I actually had felt because I was, feeling a bit strange and weird. So, and she said, no, no, the energies are already coming
They
in,
are.
and
They
yeah,
are.
yeah.
And I think it's what it's doing with a lot of people. It's making them rethink
Hmm.
or what they think their structure, what they think their beliefs are.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's time sometimes to maybe ditch some stuff or pick up or get to be on your thing. It's like your path is not like anybody else's.
Hmm.
And the thing is, it's all very well following other people, but there comes a point that you actually have to do your thing.
Yes, you have to be you. That's
Yeah,
what you're here to
that's right.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll just share again the energy of the we'll just changing the charts over. There we go. Now this is the Chinese New Year energy 2026.
Wow.
And the sun and moon are together up there, so you can see that that's why there's an eclipse.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. But as you can see, is all the planets are in the top half of the chart.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
So this isn't any sort of let's hide away. This is
No.
right, let's get hold of the thing
Let's face it head on and do it.
and do it. Yeah.
Wow.
And so all that sort of energy is backed up by everything else. And this is very much well, it's definitely a once in a lifetime, you know, once in several lifetimes worth of energies that we're living, or we're living through it now, that we'll be living through. So it's quite a dramatic shift.
Hmm.
And it's unlike last year's, which was so
Chaotic.
complicated and
Chaotic.
egotistical.
Yeah.
Um,
And
you know,
chaotic.
this is very much his individual stuff. Saturn and Neptune in Aries is you. It's you, the individual.
Hmm.
And it's like people say, well, that Aries can be very selfish. This
Hmm.
is true, but there are times that you have to look inside the self, the other self, and actually say, well, right, what's happening here?
Hmm.
And so it will be a watershed for a lot of people. Fortunately, as we go through into March, things slow down a fair bit. And some people probably will slow down too much. You can't win. But it basically, it's really to absorb and to integrate some of the things that you're experiencing. And it's like, as we've already said, we're actually already in it.
Yeah. for sure.
We may not realize to the full extent until next year, but we're in this change.
Hmm.
And it's a once in 160, 200 and something year bank of energy. And you think a lot of the things that have happened in the world in the last 160, 200
Yes,
years is phenomenal.
huge. Yeah,
So you can imagine somebody now saying, okay, we're just going to change gear.
yeah. Oh, wow. Well, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. And but it's like, I know I was thinking to myself, meditation some time ago, did I agree to this? Did I agree to live through this? You
Yeah,
know,
it
there was, yeah,
helps when you think like that and you go, well, actually, I did, so it's okay. I'm going to be
yeah,
fine.
actually
Yeah,
that I did because I got something to offer, I got something to
yeah,
help,
yeah, exactly.
and it's like, yeah, so March next year carries on much the same. Beginning of April, there's a new moon on the 2nd,
Yeah.
and this may make some people feel a bit, sorry, it's a full moon on the 2nd. So make some people feel a little bit uncomfortable because it's coming up from the previous new moons.
Okay.
But as we move through April, the energy picks up again. So
Oh.
it's like February is the real sort of, and then March and April are things sort of sorting themselves out a little bit more.
Hmm.
Now, when we come to the end of April, the last week in April,
Yeah.
the planet Uranus moves into Gemini. It hasn't been in Gemini for 84 years. And if you go back 84 years, you probably think, actually, I really didn't need to know that. But it's a lot to do with communication. In Gemini, this is communication on steroids.
Oh no.
Okay, this is like, whoa.
Okay.
And it makes a very good angle or aspect to Pluto. And Pluto, which is a lot to do with really fundamental change,
Yeah.
joins it. And
Wow.
this really is the flavor for the rest of 2026.
Wow.
It's communication. You think it's fast now, you wait.
Oh,
That's also individually as well.
yes,
Of
yes.
course, this is a lot to do with intuition and how you process things. I know it's like if we already know we've got AI lurking in the background, and people are already saying, well, if you look at anything that's created now, that doesn't include this video, anything created now, there's a good chance that it's a lot of it is AI. You can't believe your eyes anymore.
No, you can't. You really,
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah.
Makes you look closely, and yes, you can sometimes pick up where things have been messed about with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Youngsters are much better at picking up where
Yeah.
things are messed about
Yeah.
with. It's
Yeah.
us with slightly older eyes, it's not so easy.
No.
But this is like, and it's almost like the world has got to collectively decide where it stands on this. And you can see the dangers, but you can also see the
And
advantages.
yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's like they've got AI sort of analyzing X-rays and MRIs and things like
Yeah.
that, and they do a
Yeah. Yeah.
far quicker job than a person can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they see much more than a person can. So there's a lot of plus to it. But it's like there's also some downfalls.
Mm.
So as we move into May, again, we've got full moon right at the beginning of the month. And the new moon 2 weeks later really adds to the energy of this Uranus Pluto, this communication. So as we go into May and June, and I think that people have sort of kicked up on this, is that communication is going to be an advantage, but also a disadvantage.
Okay.
And this is where we have to keep things practical. And people say, well, I get worried about what's happening in the world and blah, blah. And it's like, center yourself, ground yourself, look after
Breathe.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
after yourself, look
Yeah.
after your family,
Yeah.
look after your community.
Yes.
Don't
Get
get
out of your head.
Yeah, don't get caught up in the craziness, because
Yeah.
if you think it's crazy now, it's going to be bonkers next year.
Wow.
But it does mean that, and this is actually is echoed in some of the um, uh, North American Inuit and some of the other elders' comments on this big shift in mankind, is that it's almost like we've got to get back to basics.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. And they're
Yeah.
saying we've got to get back to basics.
Yeah.
We've got to find ways of growing our own food.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got to, go back to ways of dealing with our clothing, it's like all the stuff that some of us have forgotten.
Mm, mm,
We've got to do,
mm.
you know, and to some extent, it's easier for folks like me, as you can see, who live out in beautiful countryside. It's harder when you're in the city,
They're very hard. Very, very.
so it's going to be a lot harder on city dwellers, this
Mm,
energy,
mm-hmm,
for this communication.
mm.
The beginning of July, there's a sudden spurt of energy. And it could be that the global finance gets a bit affected. I mean, let's face it, the global markets, finance markets, at the drop of the hat will keel over. I mean, they're so predictable. It's as bad as new moon, full moon, and they follow Mercury. And it's like it's not your communication goes whatever. It's to do with the markets. Again,
Yeah.
it's a mass thing. And when people learn to read it, which is why they employ astrologers in markets, because they rely on their astrologers to tell them when to invest and when to
When to,
chuck,
yeah.
you know. And so July could be a bit of a people get their fingers burnt if they've got too much invested in money. And of course, this Uranus Pluto is also to do with Bitcoin. It's to do with money that's in the ether, that's not real money,
Yes,
that's
yeah,
dead
yeah.
money.
Yeah. I never can figure that out myself.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's also looking, and this I think people are starting to ask now, is if we've got so much AI going on, we've got to have these huge computer banks
Yes.
using a lot of electricity,
Yes.
relying on a lot of water for cooling.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they farm it, don't they? Yes. Yeah.
some countries have got this sussed, that they use the water to heat the houses and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, and of course, you've got all the minerals that have to go in to build the computers. And so it's like questions to be asked is, yeah, it's like being asked here with the threat of pylons and things. Is this really green?
Yeah, because
Is
it's
this
not.
really looking after our
Yeah.
planet?
Yeah. No.
Or is it actually going somewhere to destroy it?
Mm.
And I think these things will be asked more and more. I mean, I know they're building these huge computer centers. I know there's a 3 or 4 in the UK. And you're thinking, yeah, but the amount of resources they
Yeah,
use is
to me it
phenomenal.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But
But
then
then it's like with my other hat on, and I won't be it for much longer as a council clerk, is people use AI all the time. Chat GPT and
mm,
whatever to write
mm,
write reports and whatever. And it's
mm.
like, and you're thinking, I mean, it's great because it means you haven't got to be educated to the level I have to be able to write things like this. But on the other hand, you're thinking, yeah, but the resource is being used. It's stopping people using their brains.
Yeah, that's what worries me because you don't have to
Yeah,
think because it does it for you, and then you actually don't know whether it's right or wrong anyway. But
yeah,
they're
but
not.
you have to check it.
Yeah, check
Can't
it, but
assume that because it's only picking up on everything that everybody else writes. If you've got
yeah,
a few people deliberately putting in something wrong,
yeah, exactly.
and it'll just go crazy. So these are the big questions that 2026 is going to bring.
Ah,
And it's not just for society to answer.
no.
I think that a lot of it is for us individually to
Mm,
answer, is
mm.
whether we go and we use AI to create things. And realizing, because of course, people saying, well, if you use that, you don't need a worker,
Well, that's it.
you
That's it.
know.
Everything becomes automated and everything, and then you've got all these people out
Yeah,
of work, and
yeah.
uh,
So there's all this, and this is primarily the communication that comes in 2026 is this really fast communication. And as the moon on the 1st of January shows us, it's got two sides to it. It's Gemini. So we have to sort out which, do we want the flighty side or do we want the practical, grounded side?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I can see why the elders of the older tribes on this planet are pointing to this shift of being something really, really important. But in the end, we have to decide for ourselves
yeah. We
which
do.
which bit we're on, if you like, want a better phrase.
Yeah, and we have to be responsible. We take a responsibility.
Take responsibility for it. We
Yeah.
can't just hive off to somebody else.
No.
So, like I said, this focuses around July.
Wow.
And of course, and I think you'll find as we expect, as the energies expand from July into August, it really does bring up a lot of questions
Hmm.
for the people who so-called lead, the planet, and of course there's another eclipse in August, and it's like, are we going to carry on, with having these senior men
No.
telling us what to do? And
Yeah.
there are women in politics, and there are men in politics who are balanced.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are greedy, and it's not
Yeah.
just politics, or in
It's everything.
banking and everything else, that
Yeah.
it's like, is no amount of wealth is enough.
No. But
And it's like and that's another thing that, I mean, this has been around for a year or two now, is the concept of enoughness. When is something enough? And if you've got more
mm,
than enough, then give it away.
yeah. Share it. Help others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is another. So this is all flowing into next year. So next year it's very different from 2025.
Very,
But it's like
very frightening for some.
it's putting the emphasis back into the individual and being able to see through um, the disinformation that we're being thrown at.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
and it's like it's about time, because we can't go on the way we are. And so
God.
the question is 2026 going to be the start of the change?
Yeah, maybe.
And each time we hit a new moon and a full moon, you'll find a little bit more comes in, a little bit more comes in. And it's the karmic side of it is a lot to do with letting go,
Yeah,
and the karmic sides of it changes from Pisces to Virgo, which is about service, which is really great, but it's also about being misled. And it goes into more of a practical, because it's like in 2025 we had Libra Aries, which was very much to do with fighting and me, mine, and this is mine, and I I don't care what anyone else does. And then it's gone into service, and then it goes further again into more humanitarian, and also looking at the role of leaders
yeah,
and the role of leadership, which is, I think, is something that we tend to not think about too much, because we're used to people being
right.
leaders like Putin and
Yeah,
Trump,
yeah,
and forget there are people like Mark Carney around,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
show how to lead in a balanced way, and
yeah,
then really make an effort,
yes,
you
yes.
know,
That's
and
what we need.
we need more of that
Mm,
sort of energy.
yeah,
And
balance, balance.
in fact, this communication thing does tip into 2027. It's 2026 isn't the end of it. It does tip over. So it's an energy setup that we've got plenty of time to think about and sort out.
Mm.
But the interesting thing for everybody, I think, is as we go through February and into the year of the fire horse, is it's almost keeping the reins on the fire horse and keeping grounded is the main thing for next
Mm.
year because it's going to push people into their heads.
Yeah, and that, yeah. And then we need to get them out of their heads and grounded to be
And
centered.
grounded
Let's remember that.
and
Get them
doing
out of their
these
head.
and doing things practical,
Yeah, yeah.
if it's artistry or anything, it doesn't matter.
No,
But it's getting people out of their heads
out of
because
heads. Yeah.
it's going to be. I mean, if you're an air sign person, a bit like as I've got a lot of air in my chart,
Mm.
you're used to dealing with the air energy,
Mm.
but you know that you can't live like that
Hmm.
because it'll, apart from the fact it'll fry your physical body, is mentally it doesn't do you any good. You have to find a way of being practical about it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
for a lot of people, they won't have experienced this level of communication, mental energy going on. So it's going to be new,
Wow, we're going to
and
be busy.
and it's yeah.
Yeah.
But like you say, you can already feel it changing.
Yeah,
It,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. Because I
changing
could feel it.
already.
And that's why I asked them, what's going on? It's already here.
Yeah,
And even
yeah,
in myself, I can feel that
yeah,
change and that.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it doesn't just like somebody completely change whatever. Like I said, it's like with Neptune, it's 160 years. And so it does a full cycle. So it's been
Mm.
it doesn't just change on
On
bang.
that day. No,
Yeah,
no. It's just
it
gradually
drifts
coming
it,
in.
it
It
drifts
drifts
in.
in. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
and that's what we've been sensing. But at least, fortunately, Saturn's with it
Yeah.
because at least it gives us something we can anchor
Mm.
onto.
Yeah. Which is we need,
Yeah,
because
we
otherwise
do.
we're
So
exhausted.
exactly. So
Yeah.
very, very different from
Very
2025.
different.
Oh
Wow.
God, that was such hard work last year. I
I'm sure
didn't
so.
dare. I didn't dare say what I saw
No, I'm sure. Well,
in
and
its
what you
entirety.
did say was enough anyway, had
Yeah,
people thinking. So
yeah,
yeah,
in its entirety, because like I said,
yeah,
you're very aware that
the frightened people.
you can curse people inadvertently sometimes
Yes,
by things
yeah,
that you say.
yeah.
Yeah,
We have to keep them.
I don't
We have
feel
to keep
worried
people
about
aware.
this fire energy. This for me a very female energy as well coming in because I think that although some people are going to find it uncomfortable initially, um, it's needed.
Yeah, definitely. Wow,
Yeah,
so it'd be
yeah.
interesting what we're going to be saying this time next year.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's just amazing the fact that we haven't had a setup like this for so long.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's like I
So
think when I last looked back for the last time it was at 0 degrees Aries was something like 1658 or something like that.
really,
It was a
wow,
long time ago. It's
wow.
been in Aries, but not at 0
But not
Aries.
at Zeres, no.
And of course
1658, what
that's
was
that's
happening?
in
That was the
the
Tudors.
yeah, that's right, yeah. And
Ooh,
I
all the
think
shake up, the Reformation and all that was going
yeah.
on.
Oh, well, no, actually, yeah. The last time Neptune was at 0 degrees Aries was 1861.
Yeah,
But the last time they were together, yes, it was the end of the 1600s.
wow.
And I made a note of it here. The Spanish Succession, the Stuarts in the UK,
Yeah,
and one of the biggest earthquakes there ever was on the Eastern Pacific.
really? Oh, and
That was,
they're
yeah.
getting worried about one of them now, aren't
Well, I
they?
know because the Ring of Fire has been really, really active.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So it's fascinating when you look back at these cycles within cycles.
Yeah, yeah. And the
You know,
shifts and the things that happen when that happened and
yeah,
what happens in
yeah,
the roll
yeah,
on. Oh
yeah,
wow. Hey. So we're in for a
yeah.
interesting year.
And it's also as well is in some ways we're privileged to live through it,
Yes.
and it's been recorded in a way that was never recorded back
Yes.
in the late 1600s because
Yeah.
apart from that, there were people, there wasn't the
No,
communication
that's it, because we've got that
worldwide.
communication now and we're all more aware of it, or
That's right.
can be
Yeah,
more aware of what's happening. And
yeah.
yeah. more people throwing their say into it as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really is, yeah. And the thing is go with the flow, but keep yourself grounded.
I love that. Keep yourself, because I'm always going on about keeping
Yeah.
grounded.
But it's going with the flow. It's don't fight this.
Yes, because you can't.
Yeah, it's like, you got to learn to surf it, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
and go with it, and
yeah.
try to get a feel of where it's taking you personally, and it'll be different from somebody else.
Yeah, because we're all different. Yeah, and we cannot be forced to go a way that we're not supposed to go.
Yeah,
Or if we
yeah,
do, it affects
yeah,
us so badly.
yeah,
Wow. Oh, I'll be happy to go my way
yeah,
and do my thing. As long as I can keep going down the woods, I'll be fine.
yeah, yeah,
He's keeping grounded. So, wow. Well, thank you,
yeah.
Sue. Wow.
So
So,
that's 2026 for you.
well, we have a lot to think about there. And of course,
Yeah,
anybody who has any comments about this can share, can DM me, call Sue
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
Sue Lilly. Hang on, Sue. Sue Lilly
Sue Lilly
52
for 52 at
at
gmail.com,
gmail.com.
or suelily.co.uk if you want the website.
Yes, thank you.
You get in
Um,
from that way.
yeah. Oh, Sue, as always. And of course, also, Sue does personal astrology readings, which are fantastic. You can DM her to make a booking, or you can DM me, get hold of me, and I will put you in touch with Sue. I highly recommend them. You helped me out a few times last year or this year, and a few friends greatly, because Sue is our go-to and we need some guidance, and it's like, Sue, we need you, can you help? And it's always very wonderful, wise advice, and so very privileged to have you here as always, Sue. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Oh, thank you very much for listening.
Well,
And yeah, like I said, any questions about 2026 and what you think, then great, drop me a line. And if I can't answer, I'm sure I know someone who can.
oh, yes, oh, it's always the way. So if you do like what you've heard today, please do press like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. It's free. And the more subscriptions we get, the easier it is for us to do many more recordings and bring you wonderful information. Um, so I'm just going to turn off recording now. I'm probably going to have to say goodbye to you all. Hopefully, Sue, you'll be able to stay online so I can just thank you
Yeah.
personally.
I say bye to you all and maybe see you next year.
Oh, yes, we're going to get through this. This is going to be a very interesting year.
We
Um,
made it through 2025. We can do anything.
we can, we can. And with people like you around with the wisdom and the knowledge, I really believe in that too. So, and for me to know that we've got to keep grounded, I'm always telling people, get grounded, get out of your heads. And for me to have more excuses to go walking down the forest, well, what more could I want for 2026? But thank you all for listening, and do take care, and a happy, blessed, interesting 2026 to you all. And thanks again for listening. Goodbye for now.
Bye bye.